And I'd like to start out by just thanking everybody, because I know there's been a lot of hard work through not only members but also staff on both sides, and I just really am appreciative to all the hard work. I frankly am a little bit more appreciative now that, with this being my first year and as the Vice Chair of the Senate Budget Committee, I have even more appreciation as to a lot of the hours and work that it's going to take to deal with some of these issues. I decided to take on this challenge, aside the fact that nobody else wanted to do it, but putting that aside, and being referred to as the Mikey from the cereal commercials. But I actually truly believe that we have some real opportunity here. I think things actually have gotten so bad, and the automatic spending that's currently in place, I think everybody's starting to have more of appreciation that we got to get a better handle on all that. And I think with that we'll be able to, hopefully, and at least I sincerely believe this, we'll be able to have some dialogue also with some reforms and changes that need to take place so that we truly can get our fiscal house in order. Because what I got out of the presentation we had just earlier was that they do want to see responsible fiscal management of the state's resources and how we are able to manage our affairs. And so I think we have a good opportunity. I think also, too, though, from my personal perspective and from other members that I've talked to, I think I've had a lot of groups come and talk to me about what the significant cuts that the governor's proposal, for an example, or the LEO's recommendations will make to their agency. And I just can't help, I guess it's coming out of the private sector, but I really have to take an actual hard look at what is a true spending cut and what is actually amounts to a reduction in projected spending increases. And by example, the proposed cuts to public safety, for an example, are actually true cuts. We're actually talking about giving them less money in the budget year than they currently have in the current year. And we're not talking about COLA increases, but if we talk about some of the other areas, like education, and I've got no qualms about making sure we try to ensure we have the best possible education system, but the reality is what that is a reduction in projected increases, mostly in COLA. And so I do want to kind of try to keep that in perspective, because when I'm out in my district and I'm talking to average people out in the district, they're struggling financially too. People are looking at paying more than $4.25 for gasoline now. They're seeing their food bills prices going up. They're losing value in their homes. And these hardworking Californians are making the adjustments necessary to try to scale back and live within their means. We as the legislature need to do the same thing. I think it's going to be extremely difficult for us to try to just tax our way out of this problem, because I do think from an investor perspective, at least in the area that I dealt in prior to coming to the legislature, that does become kind of a deterrent. And I don't want to cause deterrent. I think we have an opportunity. California's always been a leader in business development. And if we have a greater demand for services and programs, then what we need to figure out a way to do is even do better than what we've done. We shouldn't accept any kind of a stagnant growth. California has always had the unique ability to do more than what happens in the nation. We've actually, California as an economic power has always been able to drive the economy of the nation. And I think we go back to that objective as well. Figuring out ways that we can actually drive, business growth and development to create the good paying jobs that people need in order to be able to have a good quality of life, and at the same time, through hard work, provide the revenue necessary so we can continue to provide services and provide the best possible services and programs to the public. So I'm really looking forward to coming up with some solutions that actually deal with the top priorities of the Democrats as well as the top priorities of the Republican. Maybe I'm being overly optimistic, but I think if we really sit down and work this out, that we can actually make sure that our top priorities on both sides are actually taken care of, and at the same token provide that opportunity through an aggressive policy of trying to look at the growth and the expansion of the economy to actually, provide the necessary revenue that we're going to need in order to keep the programs going forward. So I'm looking forward to the process. I can't say, I won't lie to you and say I'm really thrilled, but because I know it's going to be a lot of hard work, but I actually do feel rather optimistic. I think it's going to be rewarding. At least I'm looking forward to it. But check with me next week and then I'll.
Thank you. Yeah, there you go. Thank you. Senator, Assemblyman Neal.